Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Rod Brown. How are you? Hope all is well. Thank you for joining this Lead or Lose series. And we're actually going to switch up a little bit. We're going to start calling this the Influence Academy, and these calls will be a part of our Lead or Lose series. So thank you for joining the Influence Academy Lead or Lose series. Today we're going to be talking about the vocabulary of a leader. Your vocabulary should be a little bit different if, in fact, you are a leader, because we know that the words that we speak gives life. Before I get started, I want to say that this call is sponsored by ShareNote.com, which is an electronic health record system designed specifically for the behavioral healthcare industry. Okay, that's out the way, so let's get into this. Your words are very, very powerful. We all know that. And we need to be very careful about the things we say, because the things that we say can, uplift people. It can incite creativity. We can encourage with our words, but we can also do the opposite. We can discourage. We can kill dreams. We can bring someone down totally with the words that we say. So as leaders, one of the things we have to do, first and foremost, though, is to make sure we have good attitudes, because I believe that the words that come out of our mouth oftentimes is determined by the attitude that we have. It's pretty hard to have negative things to say when you're in a good mood or when you have a good attitude. And the thing about good attitudes is you can manufacture a good attitude even when you're not feeling well. It's almost like the person who has to force feed themselves. I don't know if you've ever been sick or you've not had a good appetite, but your body needed nutrition, so you had to eat, although you didn't enjoy eating at that particular time. Our brain, we can trick our brain. Our brain is tricked easily by what we feed it. So if we feed it, even if we feed it a fake good attitude, or if we feed it positivity, then eventually it's going to believe that it's in a positive state. And then I believe that ultimately translates to us speaking positively and us having a positive vocabulary. Again, there's power in the things that you say. So you have to make sure that you're speaking positive words, primarily because if you don't, it could affect your ability to create. So if we think about the whole process of creation, first of all, you probably have a thought about something. Typically there starts off with a problem. And if there's a problem, then you're thinking about that problem. And then after you think about it, you have thoughts about that problem. And then eventually you start to come up with some ideas to start solving the problem. And then you may talk about the ideas. And when you talk about the ideas and the words that you use to describe your ideas, or the words that you use to describe how you're going to solve this problem, if they're not positive, then that problem probably won't get solved. So if you have a negative connotation as evidence of the negative words that you're speaking about what it is that the problem that you need to solve, then ultimately you probably won't solve that problem, or it'd be very difficult to solve that problem. But if you have positive words about solving that particular problem that you came up with ideas for, then you will probably solve that problem ultimately. So it starts off with your attitude. It starts off with your belief as well. And a belief is just information that we've agreed with at some point in time. So the information has to come from somewhere. So why not come from you? And why not come from your positive attitude? And why not come from your positive words? So if you feed yourself positive words, positive information, then ultimately you will, you will win. And, one of the things that we as leaders, we have to preach to the people that we lead, or the people that follow us, is that we win. We are going to win come hell or high water, regardless of what the situation looks like, regardless of what the circumstances tell us. We are going to win. Just a quick story. My daughter, who is 9 years old, she had $11 last night, and she lost her $11. So it was real interesting to see her go from being really happy to being really, really sad because she lost her $7. And these are her words. She lost her, her $11. And I mean, she went into a frenzy because it affected, and these are her words, it affected how much she was going to be able to save, and it's affecting, her future plans for the things that she wanted to do with that $11 plus the other money that she currently has. So she was in a state of, she was almost distraught because she had lost this $11. So we sat down and we talked about this. We kind of processed this. And all we did, we talked about the same situation, but the only thing I did was I just kind of changed the words that she was using. And so instead of saying lost, I used the word misplaced. And instead of her having a belief system that the money is lost, translation is gone, why not have a belief system that is misplaced for now and that you will find it later? And by having that conversation and having that perspective and using those words, everything changed in terms of her well-being, in terms of her spirit, in terms of how she was feeling on the inside. So she went from feeling really, really sad to going, well, okay, there's another way to look at this thing. And it was all about just the words that I chose to help her kind of process through that. So, again, your words are so very important. One of the things, again, that we have to convey as leaders is we have to convey the fact that we are winners. And our teams, come hell or high water, will win. And just some of the things that we have to focus on include being responsible as leaders. And the way we be responsible is oftentimes the way we communicate that responsibility. And we communicate that responsibility using words and having a responsible vocabulary. And we talk about how we are responsible, how, it may be your fault, how, you didn't prepare the team properly, but we talk about how we were not responsible. We also communicate that losing is unacceptable. So the way we communicate that is not, if somebody makes a mistake, their failure, they lost. No, it's our attitude is that every time we step into the game, we step into the arena, kind of like Tiger Woods says, every tournament he plays, even though he's not playing really well now, every tournament he plays, he expects to win. And so it's having that level of expectation whenever you get into the game is one of the things that we need to communicate, and we need to use positive words. Another thing that we have to communicate and we have to use positive words for is our passion. And these are the things that are really, really sensitive to us being successful as leaders and ultimately our organization being successful. So I don't know you're passionate about something until I hear something that you say or I see something that you do. So your passion has to come from a positive place, because I've never seen even if I disagree with something or if I'm passionate about fighting against a wrong, well, I'm still positive about my position. So I've never seen someone, try to fight for something and they're passionate about something and they come from a negative place. Okay? So passion is very important. We have to communicate positively about our passion. Again, I talked about creativity, but I'll add that to the list. In order for you to create, your words have to match up with your belief and your ideas. Your words have to match up with your belief and your ideas. So if you believe that you can climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and you have a plan to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, but every time you talk about it, you talk about how hard it is and how you will probably fail and how you can't imagine how someone has done this, and everything is negative that comes out of your mouth, then you probably will fail at climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay, so be very careful again with just the words that come out of your mouth. Quitting is unthinkable. Once we start something, we won't quit. We may change direction, but we won't quit that thing, because oftentimes people, I don't believe there's any such thing as a failure. People just quit. So communicating that is something that's very critical to the success and overall winnability of your organization. And again, these are things that you have to make sure that you're using the right words, or you're communicating in a positive manner, and the things that will help you win. And then your level of commitment. Your level of commitment has to be communicated properly. It has to be communicated with positive words. Your commitment is it runs parallel with trust. Being committed and being consistent, again, runs, those things kind of run parallel with trust, which is your leadership currency. Trust is your leadership currency. So, if you think about, say if you have $10,000 that you need for college education or for retirement or for whatever, you do everything possible to protect that $10,000, because if you don't protect it, it's going to ultimately impact in a negative way, college or retirement or the debt that you want to add to the house. So your trust, the trust that you have from those that follow you, is your currency, and you have to do everything you can to trust that. And your consistency and your commitment to the cause will be the evidence of that. So it is very important for you to positively communicate how committed you are to the cause and how committed you are to your organization. And then ultimately victory is inevitable. So communicating that as regularly as possible, especially during the times where it looks like you're not going to win. It's fourth quarter. It's only a minute left on the clock, and you're down by 5. Can we come back and win? What can we do to come back and win? And it starts with our attitude, and then after that, it starts with our attitude, and then secondly, it's the words that come out of our mouth. So you have to speak positively all of the time. Again, your words will take you up, and those with you up, and your words will bring you down. So there's power in the words that you speak. Your words can be a tremendous asset, or those words can be tremendous liability. So please pay attention to what you say. Please pay attention to how you say it, and please pay attention to making sure that even in negative situations, you find a positive way to communicate your plans, your vision, where you want to go. You want to add to people's lives. You don't want to subtract from their lives. So you want to use words, positive words that are going to add to their lives. I'm not suggesting that you make things up. I'm not suggesting that you tell lies. But there's always a silver lining in every situation. The good situations, they're easy to communicate. It's easy to be positive in those situations. But the negative situations, the tough times, that's where you need to find the positive, or you need to find that silver lining so that you can accentuate that silver lining and remind your folks that, hey, we don't lose, we win, because that's just what we do. Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you so much for listening to the Influence Academy, our Lead or Lose series. I send you blessings. Have an awesome day, and please tell a friend. Oh, you can reach us on Twitter at Roderick L. Brown. Again, that's on Twitter at Roderick L. Brown. Have a great day.